For a professional footballer, this is the highest possible stake. Over 1 billion people watch as a single captain lifts 6 kilograms of solid gold, signaling that for the next 4 years, their country is the undisputed center of the sport. Yet, over the last 2 decades, reaching this summit has preceded a consistent and public downfall. The moment a team secures the title, they seem to trigger a countdown toward a total collapse in the next tournament. Fans have begun calling it the Champions Curse. Defending winners arrive at the next tournament only to be dismantled in the opening rounds, often failing to win a single match. Look at the record since the turn of the century: France in 2002, Italy in 2010, Spain in 2014, and Germany in 2018. 4 of the last 5 European champions were sent home before the knockout rounds even began. To understand why, we have to look at what happens to a squad's focus once they've already reached the top. Winning the World Cup requires a level of intensity that is almost impossible to sustain. Once the trophy is in the cabinet, the drive to innovate often vanishes, replaced by a weight of expectation that players aren't always prepared to carry. In 1998, France won their first title on home soil. They were a squad that seemed to have no weaknesses, treated as national heroes. By 2002, they were the heavy favorites to repeat. They arrived with a roster featuring the top scorers from the English, Italian, and French leagues, including superstars Thierry Henry and Zinedine Zidane. But the superstars didn't deliver. France played 3 group games and failed to score a single goal. The reigning champions were the first team eliminated. This is the first sign of the burden that comes with the title. When a player is marketed as an icon, the invisible pressure from fans and media creates a mental block that makes the simplest plays feel impossible. On the pitch, this invisible pressure translates directly to a loss of composure. Players who were once calm and clinical begin to force their movements, leading to a cycle of mounting frustration and error. When the leaders of the team begin to crack under that individual weight, the effect is contagious. The tactical discipline of the entire locker room starts to dissolve. 8 years later, Italy faced the same fate. After winning in 2006, they arrived in South Africa with many of the same veteran players, only to finish at the bottom of a group they were expected to dominate. In 2014, Spain followed suit. They had won 3 consecutive major trophies, but their attempt at a 4th ended in the group stage after conceding 7 goals in just 2 matches. Both Italy and Spain showed a specific kind of tactical stagnation. They relied on aging rosters and the exact same systems that had worked 4 years prior, refusing to integrate new players or adapt. This is the danger of a winning formula. Managers become attached to the system that won them the gold, keeping it rigid. But while the champions play the football of 4 years ago, opponents are aggressive and unpredictable, easily bypassing the rigid golden formation. Success creates a mental trap, where adaptation feels like a betrayal of the identity that made the team champions in the first place. Germany's 2018 campaign was supposed to be the exception. This was a team known for clinical engineering and a lack of emotional volatility, a system designed to be immune to outside pressure. Instead, the machine fell apart. Germany lost their opener to Mexico and was later stunned by a 2-0 defeat to South Korea, marking their first opening round exit in 80 years. Even with a disciplined system, unexpected adversity triggers a sudden loss of confidence. When the plan fails, players used to total control begin to panic. This mental friction causes the entire tactical structure to seize up. Passes that were once automatic become hesitant, and the defensive coordination simply disappears. That internal panic is amplified by the sheer scale of the audience. For a team like Germany, the weight of 80 million people expecting a deep run makes every missed chance feel like a national disaster. The 2018 exit demonstrated that meticulous planning can't fully account for how a squad reacts when their perceived invincibility begins to crumble. Looking at this timeline, we can see that the curse is actually a recurring limit of professional psychology. It's the difficulty of maintaining an elite edge when you have already achieved the ultimate goal. There is a massive imbalance on the field. The challengers play with the freedom of having everything to gain. The champions, meanwhile, play with the paralyzing fear of losing the status they've held for 4 years. The victory in one tournament creates a permanent debt of expectation. Every move the champions make is compared to their past perfection. leaving them little room to grow or make mistakes. It raises a question for future winners. Is it possible to maintain hunger and tactical flexibility once they've reached the summit? Because for a defending champion, the hardest part isn't beating the next opponent. It's overcoming the weight of their own history.